Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Christina here, and today I'm going to be talking about 15 things that I wish I knew before I had my daughter. So if you are expecting a new child or you have one at home, congratulations. Especially if it's your first kid, it is so exciting and it's probably like the most nervous time of your whole life. And so I hope that something I say in this video can help with all of that. That being said, I am not a professional. I don't know if you guys know, but there's like no parenting-hood professionals. None. Zero. Zilch. Nada. The reason for that is because every kid is different, every pregnancy is different, and every situation you have at home is going to be different. That's okay. I don't care if you make a ton of money off of parenting books, if you have a really good process that works for a ton of kids, if you're YouTube famous, you're not an expert at parenting. And that is okay. I am not an expert at parenting. These things I'm about to say, they're my suggestions, they're what I've been through, they're what I've honestly lived by now, but to each his own. I've always been that way. To each his own. So, number one. Don't overread about your pregnancy. This one's very hard, especially if it's your first kid. I had 4 baby apps on my phone when I got pregnant with my daughter, who is almost 2. I am currently pregnant with my son, who is due in October. So I can't speak to the differences of boys and girls, but I can say, do not overread about your pregnancy. There are specific do's and don'ts you want to know. I'm not saying not to be educating yourself on those, but don't worry yourself to death. When you're pregnant, your anxiety levels are already increased like by tenfold. You don't need to add to it by searching for problems. So make sure that you don't go looking for things that could go wrong, that you want, be aware of what's going on with you. But if your doctor really wants you to be concerned about something, then they'll talk to you about it. Number 2, don't wash all your baby clothes. Don't do it. Don't do it. I did it. And I wish I wouldn't have done it. So here's the thing. You think that when your baby comes, you're going to want to put them in all these cute outfits, and then a ton of people buy you outfits. That's not how it really happens. You barely leave the house with your kid for the first couple of months. They are living in onesies and swaddles. So a lot of those cute little Carter's outfits that you get are just wasted. If you take the tags off, you wash them, and then they're never worn. However, you keep the tags on and they don't wear them. A lot of times you can get store credit back for those items and put it towards something that your kid might wear now. So that's what I'd recommend. I'm not saying don't wash your clothes before you put them on your kid. You absolutely should. Again, babies are all different. Some have way more sensitive skin than others. So you want to make sure you're washing them. But wash them as you need them. I'm telling you, it'll help you so much in the long run when it comes to wasting clothes and or money that you may either receive or spend. Number 3, don't overspend. When you first get pregnant and you see all these nurseries that people put together, you think you need all these big ticket items, but if you're on a budget, then it is okay to wait 5 or 6 months to get some items. Those items include a crib. Yeah, a crib. For the first 6 months, it's recommended they sleep in your room anyways. I'm not here to debate that. I'm not going to get into it in this video. I can record a video about how I feel opinions on sleeping and sleep training and all that stuff, but I'm not doing it right now. If you are interested in that video, please let me know. I'll be happy to do that later. However, it is recommended that they sleep in your room for 6 months, or they're at least near parents for 6 months, so they don't even really need a crib yet. Pack and plays. What you need a pack and play for? Unless you're actually going to pack it up and go somewhere. But it is way easier to buy someplace else for your kid to play because they're so big and bulky and really hard to pack up. And it's way cheaper to get just a general changing table if that's all you're going to use it for. My daughter didn't sleep in my pack and play. She didn't play in the pack and play. All we did was use it as a big catch-all for all the things we didn't want downstairs, that we didn't want to bring upstairs, that she may or may not have needed. but a lot of times I would go through it and find items I forgot I had in there. So I recommend holding off on that until you absolutely need it. Diaper bags. I know you want to be cute. I know you want that designer dupe diaper bag. I get it. By all means, if you can afford it, go for it. But if you can't, get you a nice backpack. They do the same thing. The same exact thing, generally half the price, more room, get a backpack. Number 4, laundry and onesies. Again, the first few months your baby's gonna live on onesies and swaddles. So make sure those things are accessible. You don't need to hang them up in the closet. Trust me when I say, heaven forbid you should turn around and baby roll off the changing table for the first time. You would never forgive yourself. Make sure that anything that you need is around the changing table, whether you're changing on a dresser or a separate changing table, whether you have a storage unit next to where you're changing, just make sure everything is at your fingertips. Make sure there's a laundry basket in every single room. I'm still trying to implement this in my house now. You don't need one like in the bathroom, but like in the halls, in the laundry, or in the halls, in the living room, in the bedrooms. Make sure there's a small laundry basket everywhere in your home. This way, your kids' clothes don't end up everywhere. My daughter's stuff ends up everywhere. Everywhere. Kitchen table, laundry. I keep saying laundry and I mean living room. Kitchen table, living room, bathroom, hallway. My bedroom, they end up everywhere. So what the plan is to put a laundry basket in every single room so that when I do her laundry, I can just empty everything back into the main pail and then, have a much happier life. Use laundry detergent made for infants. I didn't even know this was a thing until I was building my registry, so just make sure you don't leave this category out. A lot of babies have sensitive skin. It's going to be really important for you and baby to use laundry detergent made for infants. I bought like a really big one and she still has it. We still haven't finished it and I don't really even use it on her anymore. So there's that. You may not want to like buy a huge one, but make sure you buy one that is specific to infants because it's really important. Number 5, health insurances will pay for your breast pump. Thank you, you're welcome. Yes, folks, they will pay for your breast pump. Now, I know a lot of you know that, but I couldn't make this video and know that there's some girl out there that's gonna spend $200 on a breast pump and I didn't mention this. Like, that would break my heart. So make sure you're contacting your insurance company, telling them you're pregnant. They'll give you a list of websites to go to, and you can go and do research on which pumps you want, and which ones carry that pump and will cover that pump. I do recommend that you do research on the pump before you buy it because you only get one for free and then you're done. But they're all different. The 2 main categories you're gonna see are Spectra and Medela. Medela is a little bit harder, so if you're not as sensitive, you might be fine with that. But I find I had way more success when I had something a little more gentle, and I loved my Spectra so much. So there's that. Number 6, going into labor is not like the movies. Nope. I hate to break it to you, the world does not stop when you go into labor. It is a slow process. So there's no need to freak out when you start getting contractions. There is no need to rush to the hospital when you start to get contractions. Take your time, pack your things, take a nice shower and eat a nice meal because I'm telling you, you won't get it once you're at the hospital. Now, in the event your water breaks before you go into labor, then you kind of have to rush a little bit more. I'd say get to the hospital probably within an hour or 2 of that happening because once your water breaks, there's no longer anything to protect baby from germs. So if you don't go into labor naturally, they do need to help you out within 12 hours of your water breaking. Most people will have contractions before water breaking, but it can happen the other way around. It did for me. Number 7, when your milk comes in, you're gonna get cold-like symptoms. A lot of you will. And what I mean by that is after about the first 3 days, your milk turns from something called colostrum to like a very more milky milk for baby. When that process takes place, you get flu-like symptoms. And I was so upset because I thought, here I am postpartum, I can't even walk, and now I'm getting a cold. I didn't actually get a cold. It was just part of what happened to my body whenever my milk transitioned from stage 1 to stage 2. It was actually, stage 1 to stage 2. We'll just say that. So just know that if you get a cold within the first few days, it'll go away pretty quickly. Number 8, postpartum care. Padsicles. If you've never heard of this, go to Pinterest, type in padsicles. They saved my life, you guys. They saved my life. They're basically giant pads you spray with witch hazel and lavender, and you fold them back up and you put them in the freezer. And I made, I think, 2 bags of these, like 2 big Ziploc bags of these, and I used them probably very religiously for the first couple of weeks. I also got these other things. They're like ice packs that you break, kinda, and you can sit on. This is going to help more for vaginal birth. I can't speak to a C-section. I haven't had one. But anyways, having it for my vaginal birth was so amazing. Anything ice related that I could sit on was just like heaven on earth. So I recommend that completely. Number 9, be prepared to not shower every single day. Sounds like a simple thing, right? Take 5 minutes to shower. Not when you have a newborn. And that is okay. We all know you don't sleep, but very rarely do people talk about the fact that you can't get a shower in. So make sure that you are using your time wisely. If baby is taking a nap, as much as you want to watch their precious little faces sleep, make sure you're putting yourself first at the times when you can. Number 10, be prepared for baby's first doctor's appointment. This was such a funny day for me and my husband because we were this close to being late. We used the car seat to take the baby from the hospital to home. But when we got her in the car seat to take her from home to the doctor, it was like we didn't know our right from our left. So make sure you do a dry run. Make sure that when you're going to the doctor for the first time, you have everything you need for baby in your book bag or diaper bag. This includes extra diapers and a change of clothes. I know you're just going to a doctor, but they make the baby get naked for every single appointment in the beginning. So a lot of times baby might pee or poop or whatever the case may be, and you just want to be prepared because I'm sure they're used to new parents not knowing what to do, but just in case, there's that. Number 11, sleep training is hard but healthy. Now, this is a little bit of my opinion. I'm not going to dive into this topic, but just know we started sleep training our daughter at 5 months old. And my goodness, I wish I had done that so much faster, because as much as I loved being close to her at night, it really, really did a whole lot for my relationship and for my psyche when I started getting more sleep regularly. If baby is not right beside you, you're not going to worry as much as you would during every single movement or cry or whatever the case may be. My daughter also did this thing where she couldn't breathe, I don't know, it wasn't dangerous, it was just she sounded really funny when she slept sometimes. So it kept me up all night. So just know that when you're ready to do sleep training, that it is absolutely beneficial to your overall feeling and health, not just for baby. Number 12, TV time can be used as an educational tool, so do not be scared of it. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of slack for this one. That's fine. I'm not saying to put your kid in front of the TV all the time, 24/7, and that's it. What I am saying is having educational songs on the TV, having educational shows on the TV, help expose them to all sorts of things that you can expose them to without having to buy a million toys to do it. So my daughter still, to this day, loves books, and she loves the educational songs, the Dave and Ava and the Baby Bum and all of these things. And I have a pretty smart kid. I'm not just saying that for mom pride. Like, she's 18 months old and she can count to 10 already.
2.
What's this one?
4.
What's this one?
6. 6. 8. 3.
Do you know that one?
Uncle.
That's 8.
That.
What's this one?
That.
I think a lot of that has to do with the stuff that she watches on the TV. We never put on a lot of filler programs. They're always educational. So just know that. Everyone feels differently about it. This is my opinion, and it worked for us. So there's that. Number 13. Take the help. This is the hardest one for new moms. It was the hardest one for me because I don't like asking for help. I like to feel the weight of everything on my shoulders. Sounds really bad when you say it like that, but it's true. You need to take the help. If people are offering to let you sleep, let you nap, let you shower, take it. Don't be a control freak about your kid. There are things that you should know to be a control freak about, certain things that you should not waver on, and then there are certain things that are not going to affect your child's development. So just make sure that you are finding those things and that you are not overly obsessing about the way people, watch your children, and that you're putting yourself first when people let you. Because trust me, there's not enough time and you're going to want the help. Number 14, happy mom equals a happy baby. So be kind to yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure that you are being patient with yourself as far as postpartum goes and your body and the way you're feeling and your emotions. It takes time. I always say that it's kind of misleading because you think after 9 months, which is actually 10 months, you're just going to pop this baby out and everything is going to go back to the way it was. You're going to go back to feeling the way you felt. And that isn't how it works. So take your time and make sure you're seeking out support. I would suggest 3 or 4 people to talk to, because if you talk to everybody, you're just going to get overwhelmed. And if your husband or significant other of some kind is not going to be there to support you, then you need to really talk to them. They need to understand that pregnancy doesn't end when the baby comes. That postpartum is a whole separate world of its own, and that is just as important as the 9 months that you were carrying baby. And number 15, we made it. Last but not least, trust yourself. You know yourself and your baby more than anybody else ever. Everything in baby world is controversial. Every single topic. Everything in pregnancy world is controversial. So just trust your gut, know your baby, and stick with it. Don't let people make you feel like you're not worthy of being a mom because you think something's more ridiculous than they might. This is your kid. You raise him or her the way you want and just trust your gut. So that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I appreciate you sticking around at the end. I'm really trying to make these not as long, but whatever, it happens. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I'd be so happy to have you. And yeah, so take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.